There's an old nautical saying, it's bad luck to set sail on Friday. To we high schoolers, that was the best day to go diving. We called it Senior Ditch Day. Besides, I figured that was for sailboats. Yeah. So as you see here, with recovered 16mm footage, there's evidence of Tom and I loading up for that day of adventure. And let's face it, better to be underwater for real than underwater in homework, at least for the day. Today our homework was to explore a shipwreck, the Valiant, a large wreck of a ship that plowed the Southern California waters from 1926 to its fateful end outside Avalon, Catalina. This was my kind of homework. We were the only few at Foothill High School that were certified scuba divers. One day at recess, I was busting with adrenaline and excitement as I described my first dive on the wreck of the Valiant to Tom and Keith. It was December 1969 I dove this wreck with my scuba instructor, Gary Felton. While Gary and I were exploring the inside of the wreck, 2 8-foot blue sharks swam lazily around us. Sharks and shipwrecks, what a combo. I could see the wonderment in their eyes and knew we were down for a day aboard the Moonraker. She is a 48-foot Chris craft, which got us to island fast, comfortable, and safe. She was an excellent dive platform. The Valiant is Catalina's most famous wreck. It was December 17, 1930. The Valiant exploded, burned, and sank off Descanso Beach. $67,000 in jewels was never recovered. The yacht was 163 feet long, 400 tons, steel-planked motor yacht, built in 1926. She rests about 100 yards west of Casino Point Underwater Park. The stern lies in sand about 80 feet. Likewise, the bow lies in 110 feet. Here's what happened to cause the fire. On the evening of December 13, 1930, the Valiant was anchored in Descanso Bay. The Howards and their guests were enjoying cocktails and dancing in the salon. Even some of the crew members were playing cards. Then the lights started to flicker and went out. The gas generator had run out of fuel. One of the crew members ran down to the engine room and turned on the tap, but anxious to play his hand, didn't wait for the fuel tank to fill. While he was playing his cards, the tank overflowed and gasoline flooded the bilge in the engine room. A spark ignited and the explosion was horrific. Within seconds, the boat was ablaze. 27 passengers and crew boarded a lifeboat to escape to shore. The harbor master tried to tow the Valiant away from other boats, but didn't get very far. The port anchor came loose and went to the bottom, anchoring the burning vessel to the seafloor. The fire raged for 3 more days until it finally heated the metal hull plates down to the waterline. With reaction to the cold seawater, it caused the plates to shrink enough to let the ocean rush in, resulting with the ship sinking to the bottom immediately. Here's Tom in the foreground and Keith in the background. 42 years after the sinking, the hull plates were gone as Tom and Keith peered through the frames. Here's Tom trying to fit down the forehatch. Notice the enormous fair lead on the rail. Now, if you're wondering about the treasure, after sinking, an insurance claim was filed for $67,000 in diamonds that reportedly went down with the burning hulk. It was never found. The speculation was, number one, insurance fraud is a possibility. Number two, somebody may have found it years ago and never reported it. And number three, the jewels were contained in a pewter jewelry box that more than likely melted from the fire, turning the treasure into a nondescript lump on the ocean bottom. One of our senior ditch day excursions was almost fatal. It was a foggy, dark, cold, wet morning when Moonraker throttled up around the breakwater and we were off. Out of nowhere in mid-channel, it happened. A speedboat instantly appeared at full speed and crossed our bow, missing us by inches. 2 seconds earlier, both boats would have collided with the T-bone effect, with certain loss of life. Tom and I looked at each other, both of our bottom jaws just dropped, and we were speechless. It wasn't said, but we both knew we had a guardian angel watching over us. Tom's with that angel now, and I'm sure he thanked him again for both of us. He went on to marry, have kids, and had a happy, successful life, as shown here with his family photos. Rest in peace, my friend, Mike Anderson.